Welcome Beyond the Veil. Have you been seeing recurring number patterns or symbols or words in your life? Well, you're definitely not alone. More and more people have been having these experiences. And today I want to assure you that these are not random, accidental things that you notice, that there's some kind of purpose or meaning behind these experiences. And my goal today is to help you find that meaning, to uncover the purpose behind this thing that you keep seeing. Now, if you think about what's out beyond the human veil in the realms of spirit, your higher self, spirit guides, angels, now these beings, they don't have vocal cords, right? They don't have vocal cords, so they need to find creative and sophisticated ways of getting your attention. And one of the ways that they get your attention are with certain keywords or symbols or recurring number patterns. A lot of people I know have been seeing the same number patterns over and over again, whether it's their birth date or something like 333 or 555. They keep seeing the same pattern over and over again. The first experience that I clearly remember in seeing a recurring pattern, I was living in London at the time, and I had decided to do a 6-week walkabout through southern France and down into Italy to visit some sacred sites and to explore some locations where I felt that I might have had at least one past life experience in medieval times. And so I went traveling just following my nose. And early one morning at the beginning of my journey, I was in meditation and I clearly saw this symbol. It was a circle with 2 lines bisecting it. And so I made a note in my journal and continued on my way. But as I went through my journey, I kept seeing this symbol all over the place, as graffiti, carved in stone. I got into a bus in Italy and the seat back in front of me, someone had written my symbol in a marker. And so for me, that symbol became a theme and kind of a guidepost for my journey, my spiritual journey. Every time I saw that symbol, it was just a reminder that I was on the right path, that my spirit guides were with me, my higher self was fully in alignment with what I was doing, and it was very reassuring. In fact, it guided me along my path. Now, a lot of us see the same number patterns over and over again. I've been seeing certain number patterns for 10, 15 years now, and each one has a certain meaning for me. When you see a number pattern, it is clearly the goal of your higher self or your spirit guides to get your attention. They want to draw your attention to something, and they can't live your life for you, so they have to give you little clues, little breadcrumbs. And when you see a recurring pattern such as the month and date of your birth over and over again, your higher self, somebody's trying to get your attention. And the easiest way to find out what the message is just go into meditation and ask, why do I keep seeing this number? What is the importance of this number for me? You might already have some inclination about what this recurring number means to you, but try going into meditation. There's always layers of energy available to you and layers of meaning available to you if you ask. Remember, Spirit is there to assist you and to guide you along the human journey. But you have to ask, and there's no limit to how many questions you can ask or how many layers you can dig into to get meaning about an experience. There is one number in particular that a lot of people have been seeing for many, many years, and that's the number 1111 or 1111. This seems to be a universal code that somehow was programmed into our DNA, into our life blueprints, that we would recognize this number and it would do something for us collectively but also individually. And my deep knowing is that this number 1111 is a symbol or a harbinger of this fundamental shift in human consciousness that's taking place on the planet right now. There's a huge shift going on in the world. Whether people realize it or not, there's a fundamental shift happening in people's spiritual awakening, in human consciousness, and this number 1111 seems to be an awakening code of some sort for hundreds of thousands of people around the world. I started noticing it back in around the year 2000, but even in the early 90s, there were people talking about this number and how it was a code of ascension and it had special meaning. So even though it has a global effect and many, many people are responding to this number 1111, if you keep seeing that number, it has a special meaning for you, because remember, your life plan, your life blueprint, the reason you're here is unique. And so if you see a number pattern, it doesn't matter what other people have written about that, that number pattern has a special meaning for you. So your job is to go into meditation and to ask your guides, ask your higher self, what is the message for me? What is the meaning of this number for me? And it might change over time. As I said, I've been noticing 1111 for 15 years now, and I still get more meaning from it because it depends on the situation and depends what I'm thinking about or doing at the time. So don't be shy. Dig deep, go into meditation, find out what this recurring number pattern means to you. And you can do the same thing with any recurring number pattern that you see in your life. Sometimes words are like codes or keywords that open up something in our consciousness, as if we're programmed to awaken the first time we hear a word. I had this experience with the word Lemuria. When I was starting to do my healing work, I ended up at a spiritual church that was focused on healing, and that's where I first heard this word Lemuria. And I had no idea what it was. I'd never heard it before, never read it, but something about that word turned on a light inside of me, and I became intrigued. And for me, the word Lemuria opened up a huge spiritual path that I know I programmed into my life blueprint. So this keyword opened up memories of past lives in Lemuria. It let me tap into information and wisdom that I had stored energetically in the etherics, almost like a time capsule to access in this lifetime. And I'm certainly not the only one. My wife has had this experience. The two of us, through our work, have met hundreds of people who have had similar experiences where they see the name Lemuria or the word Lemurian, and it just awakens something in them. One of the first times that we traveled to Japan to teach our healing modality, Lemurian Healing, one of the participants was an 80-year-old kendo master, and we had no idea who this gentleman was or why he would be attracted to what we were doing. And as we were going around the circle introducing ourselves at the beginning of the workshop, he said, "I have no idea why I'm here. I saw the word Lemuria and I just knew I had to go. So I don't know why I'm here, but I'm here." And this gentleman ended up learning our healing modality. In fact, he traveled to Hawaii to participate in one of our first teacher training courses, and it's all because he saw that word Lemuria. Maybe there's a word that has triggered something in you. Maybe it's the word ascension. Maybe it's the word Atlantis. And maybe there's a name of an Egyptian goddess that triggers something within you. Anytime that you come across a word that resonates deep inside of you, pay attention to that, because there's something important that your higher self wants you to recognize, to remember, to understand. Sometimes when we see certain patterns or symbols or glyphs, information is actually being downloaded into our consciousness, even if we're not aware of it. This happens a lot with crop circles or glyphs that people have channeled. For example, someone might look at a crop circle and have no reaction whatsoever. You look at a photograph of the exact same crop circle design and you feel you're getting a download of information. You might not be consciously aware of all that's being downloaded, but you sense that something is happening. So when you see a glyph, when you see a pattern, a symbol, a crop circle, something that triggers a reaction inside of you, pay attention to it. And as I've been saying all along, it doesn't have to be a great mystery and it doesn't have to be a big project. Just quietly go into a short meditation and ask your higher self, ask your guides, what is the meaning of this? Why did I have this reaction to this word or this symbol? Why do I keep seeing this recurring pattern? Again, you might not get a complete answer the first time, but if you keep asking, you'll get the answers. If you like this video, I invite you to share it with the people you care about. You can subscribe to this video channel. You can also go over to davidbauer.com and join my email news list. Remember, when you reach beyond the veil, you're actually reaching into your own light, into your infinite potential. You are an amazing being. You're here for a reason, and it's time to start remembering who you truly are. My name's David. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time beyond the veil.